Well, I don't want to steal all the thunder because we are going to be speaking at the Peak Profit Summit in Houston in May. Luckily, it's pretty much in your backyard there.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking. We're going to be joined with Steve, obviously here, and James Freeman, who's currently the #1 ranked CEO on our list. So we're super excited to be talking about just this, the culture of accountability, and really how important it is to appreciate your people in order to get the most out of them. And I can't think of a better person to have on stage with us than you, Steve. There's a lot of people that talk the talk, but very few people, when the chips are on the table and those cards get turned over, is as advertised. And I think one of the most impactful stories I've ever heard, specifically about culture and about a team and about a win, was the day that you had your brain aneurysm. Nobody really knew. Then all of a sudden they started to find out. And I know this isn't something that you would just bring up and share unless I directly asked you. Would you mind telling, and this is just something that I think is just incredible that the team would rally, but would you mind telling the story about the night that you had it, you're in the hospital, you let one person know, or the ambulance rather, and then what happened after that?
Yeah. So started in one ER close to my house in a little bit of a smaller hospital, and they didn't have, after the doctor told me I shouldn't have been alive at that point and he wasn't going to promise me anything, they had to transfer me to a larger hospital in San Antonio where the brain specialists were, to prep me for brain surgery and everything else. And so I'm laying in the ambulance, and I've still got the picture. I took a picture of my feet out in front of me laying in the ambulance, and I sent it to the group text for my exec team that I met with every Monday morning, kind of the rhythm of our meetings, and did a daily huddle with every other morning besides that. And I said, hey, y'all, I'm probably going to tear up telling you this again. Hey, y'all, I love you guys deeply. It has been an honor and privilege serving you guys as your leader. Need to let you know I've had a brain aneurysm. This was Sunday, May 29 of 2022, right in the middle of Memorial Day weekend. So it's the Sunday Memorial Day weekend. Everybody's in the middle of family parties and gatherings and everything else going on. It's about 6 p.m. that Sunday. And I said, hey, y'all, I'm not joking at this point. Here I am laying in the ambulance. I've had a brain aneurysm. I don't know if I'm going to live between one hospital and another. Don't know what's going on. But it's been my honor and privilege to serve y'all as your leader. It's been amazing to see you guys grow. I want you to know I love you deeply. Blah, 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 Steve. I'm heading to Methodist Main and Medical Center. And literally by the time the ambulance got there and my wife got there separately in her car and she was waiting to see where the ambulance was going to come in, 6 of the 7 folks that were in town, one of them was out of town from my executive team, they were there waiting with their spouses or whoever was with them. A couple of them even had their kids with them. They split from whatever parties they were at and everything else, and they were waiting at the hospital for me to get there in the ambulance. So that's the kind of team that we had built and the kind of relationships that we had with one another. They dropped literally what they were doing, left their family parties, and showed up at the hospital. So it was powerful, man.
That is, I mean, it speaks volumes. I hate to even pose the question to the CEOs out there watching and the leaders, but if that were to happen to, how many people would show up that quick, right? Yeah. What is the real impression that you're making on people's lives? And therefore, at the end of the day, you're able to have a lot more success, both call it on and off the court, if you will.